Foster parents kicked me out at 18, now they ask me to move back in at 33. I wish I was making up this stupid crap. I cannot believe the audacity, or the stupidity of these people. I was told to leave by my 18th by my foster parents as I would no longer be profitable past 18, paid fostering scheme by the local council. I slipped out in the small hours of the morning, a month after my 17th. I found my bio parents purely by chance, wasn't looking, just before my 18th, turned out that I look exactly like my mother, we almost look like twins. She was forced to give me up by her parents after having me at 15, she was not given a choice in the matter. I was reunited with my bio family just after my 18th, and moved in with them at 19. I then spent the next 6 years working 60 hours a week and paying zero rent. My mum refused to take a penny from me, until I could put down a deposit for a mortgage on my own place. I dropped $110K up front on a $165K two-bedroom flat in 2015, and I will be mortgage-free before the end of 2024. I have not been in contact with my foster parents since I slipped out in 2007. I never had any intent of keeping in touch as they never once pretended to give a crap about me during my childhood. I do however keep in touch with their bio daughter Kelly, 29F, who also doesn't talk to them. She actually had my back during my childhood, and I had hers. Just before Christmas just gone, they got in touch with Kelly and asked her if she talks to me at all, and that they would like to get in touch with me. Kelly told them this was my choice to make and not theirs, and that she would forward a number to me. I picked up an old burner phone and texted back to them. This is Danny. What do you want? Them, hi, how have you been? We have been worried about you all these years blah blah blah. Me, bullshit, there is something you want from me, don't waste my time with small talk, just get to the point already. Them, okay fine you are right, we have something to ask, we are having trouble paying the mortgage after recent interest rate rises, our repayments have gone up. Would you consider moving back in with us to help us out? We need some extra income for the next 15 years. You can have the bigger room with the ensuite bathroom this time. Me, I have literally 1 year left on my mortgage, and my repayments did not go up. Maybe I'll even look into paying it off early. So no, I will not move in with you. Have you even tried prostitution? Or maybe you could sell drugs? Get an OnlyFans? Another foster child? Them, there is no need to be rude to us, we are trying to help you here, we are offering you an opportunity. Do you have a job? What do you do for money? Me, I am a doctor, and I diagnose you are *tard. Dr. Danny hereby prescribes you a nice tall glass of shut the F *CK up, and a pair of helmets to ride the short bus with. Because you must be mentally slow if you want me to believe that you would be helping me by having me pay to live with you. If ever I choose to tolerate your presence in my life again, it will be you paying me for the privilege of my company. Them, oh forget it, just fuck off if you are going to be like that with us. Me, bye, have a nice day. Them, fuck you. Me, no thanks. At this point, I just turned off the phone and stuck in back in my forget it drawer. That was December 18th. I had a great Christmas with my bio family and my foster sister, seeing as she spends Christmas with my parents rather than hers. You might think I was being harsh with my foster parents here, especially with the *tard comment, but I assure you that they were gold medalists at doing the bare minimum as parents. I was fed and clothed, I was given a room and a bed, and I was sent to school. No toys, no birthday or Christmas gifts, no care or love. I was basically just a lodger who got his rent paid by the state. And for them to now try and ask for my help whilst painting it as them helping me? Just no. My bio mother was more of a mother to me in the first day of knowing her than my foster mother was in 17 years. I guess that's what you get when you neglect one child for his entire childhood, and then lose both because of it. Kelly slipped out the back at 17 just like I did, I know because I was there to pick her up. Am I the asshole for rolling my eyes at my boyfriend's proposal because it took 25 years of me begging? He just walked towards me holding a box and said to open it. It was a ring, and I had pictured this moment a million different times but never thought I'd be so apathetic. My boyfriend then said that he was retired now and wants to kick back and enjoy life with me, and would love to do it all with me as his wife. A nice speech and all, but from the 5-year mark of our relationship onwards, I had been making clear my deep desire to marry, and was consistently dismissed, given empty promises. We had been through the gamut with therapy, and one counselor implied that me telling him we needed to go to therapy and getting his butt on the couch still means nothing if his mind has been made up. I was in denial about the fact he was just giving me the false illusion of progress to stall. My boyfriend and I have 4 kids. The oldest 3 are adults, while the youngest is 15F, was sleeping over elsewhere when this all went down. All of our kids went to a private school filled with typical Southern soccer parents. I had to endure PTA moms' jabs about me not sharing a last name with my kids. Pre-teen years were hell because the other kids would taunt my kids by saying, "Your dad would rather sin and go to hell than marry your mom." My BF's mom would tell him marriage would be selfish on my part, "It is just a piece of paper." My BF ended up rising up the ranks until he became an executive. I was a SOM, so I felt like there was always a power imbalance, exasperated by the fact I could be tossed any time. I partly did stay because I wanted my kids to have the best life and because I felt lucky and proud to be partnered with such an intelligent, successful man, but also because I loved him. These past few years my boyfriend's career has taken a downturn. He will never be poor, but the company he was part of took a nosedive during 2020 and he had made enemies out of associates/board members. He decided to step back from his role and take the generous severance agreed upon. Now he is living off his investments and wants to relax. I did not like how his career ended and how he treated people, and had been deciding whether I wanted to leave and find somebody else after our youngest turns 18. So the proposal was a shock because I should hope that he noticed I have avoided conversations about the future as of late. He rattles on about downsizing our house so we can travel and also cutting back on our other expenses, but we're not married so it's all his money/house anyway. He did notice my eye roll and was offended. He asked what's wrong and I said that suddenly now that he's downsizing I'm good enough to marry. He got mad and said that now that he's downsizing and no longer an executive, I suddenly think our relationship is disrespectful. And started implying I was a gold digger. I was so angry I walked out and said I might just go out looking for a respectful relationship because I don't know what respect is anymore. Update 1. At the time of my original post, my boyfriend and I had not spoken since the engagement fight. I've been with him long enough to know that when he goes and closes the bedroom door before I get in, that's a signal that I should sleep in one of the guest rooms, so I did that. However, this morning I broke the ice. I told him about how dismissed I felt over the years. I also said that we are both in our 50s and these last few years have taught us that people at work who kiss the ground you walk on one day can easily turn on you the next. And true partners in life are valuable and hard to find, so I wished he'd treat me like I'm valued. Instead he treats me like he thinks prettier, better, and just as loving is always around the corner. I apologized for the eye roll but told him that if he wants marriage, I want a quick committed timeline and genuine happiness from him to be marrying me. I don't need a big party. He listened to me and finally asked if this was about the money/security. He told me that being an executive's girlfriend required things of me, but if I wanted to work I could have. He said he doesn't think I'm grateful enough for the position in society I was in due to his career, but that he's not mad about the eye roll. He said he didn't succeed by being that sensitive. He went on to say I was not his prisoner so I can leave at any time. But to remember he won't tolerate being made my prisoner either via manipulation. He said that for what it's worth, the engagement ring is mine and I could do whatever I wanted with it. He will also not be accused of not providing for his daughter, so be assured he won't shirk child support. But that he felt what I said before was emotional blackmail, so he no longer wants to go forward with marrying but says if I'd like to travel with him that's fine. Him traveling is non-negotiable, and so if I wanted to get a job it would have to be a remote job. It was a sad conversation and I spent a few hours alone after that. I felt I had nothing to lose, so I just asked him if he would support me getting an associate's, but that most associates for technical careers were in person. He then dropped the bombshell that if I wasn't traveling with him he wasn't going to go those periods without sex. I was astounded by his callousness because he's back to take it or leave it. We fought again with me saying we're all feeling the effects of age, I've supported him through health issues, and if he thinks he can just find somebody who has that loyalty I've shown him, he's wrong. At this point I'm looking for ways out. I can't say I haven't been tempted to say I'll travel with him and try to get a remote job, but also realize how resentful I am that he continues to need to have the power in the relationship. I don't think I'll ever know my value truly, but something telling me there has to be better out there, at least in a partner. Update 2. It's been over a month since I last posted and my life has changed drastically. For those who didn't see my previous posts, my boyfriend of 30 years proposed after I had begged him for 25 years and I had rolled my eyes because it took 25 years and him not being an executive anymore. In response, he retracted the proposal. I really wish this update could have been positive. But I'm not doing well. But what remains is hope. Hope in the kindness of others, my grown kids, employers, courts, even my kid's dad. Hope in the value of love that I've given so freely to my kid's dad. Because I was raised to believe even those who don't appreciate the love I've given them will eventually self-actualize and pay it back. Here's what has happened since. Since my kid's dad accused me of trying to keep him an emotional prisoner, I tried to show him I valued his freedom. I gave him his space and showed that I could live life without trapping him. I started doing that right after our discussion. His reaction was anger. After our talk he started glaring and picking fights over everything, the speed at which I did housework, my spending, within his allowance, and cut it to nearly zero. Asked for the ring back during an argument. I took the comments to my posts to heart. In particular, advice telling me that if badgered I should refuse to leave the house. Just a few days after our conversation about the engagement he picked a fight and accused me of ignoring him. He said he wanted me out. I said no, I deserve to be here. He responded by having a lawyer send me a notice telling me to vacate that day. I happened so quickly I was too shocked to react. My kids were torn between dad's bluffing and try to leave. But now he's filed to evict. It's up to the courts now. I tried looking for legal aid, but the person I talked to was cold and implied that my status as a mom and partner won't protect me from eviction. I've tried sending out applications for office jobs. But was told by friends to be kind to myself because if one rejection comes, something better will be along. My adult kids suggested I apply for SNAP, food stamps, and I haven't out of shame. They said if I do and Dad and I no longer live together the government will help me collect child support. My grown kids said they can't risk upsetting Dad. My oldest told me a gas station was hiring night shift. And he'd try to help once he graduated. Just when I decided to just be grateful for the job, they rejected me after an interview where I feel I spoke well. That hurt. But I keep having hope because every day there are new remote and non-remote jobs posted, saying they'll train the right candidate. I am applying to every corporation it seems. With hope that one of them will take a chance on me, give me an interview that I will ace. See me for somebody pulling herself up. I know my boyfriend wants me to beg. But I don't know if that would make him drop the suit. I just don't know anymore. I am in my corner of the house trying to keep things normal and applying like it's a job. I don't know what else to say, but that ends my update for now. I maintain hope and dignity. Am I the asshole for being mad at my best friend for trying to get me in trouble with my own mum? Me and my other friends were talking about going out shopping because we were doing exams and it was a generic open invite, anyone could come. My friend assumed she wasn't invited and left to go home, and she expected me to follow as we get the same bus, but I didn't. I stayed with my friends to discuss this shopping trip, and as I said, No one was specifically invited, it was an open invite. Even though she left, she still could have come on that trip. I got on the bus to go home and called my mum to talk about going shopping with friends. Halfway though my mum gets a TXT from that friend saying, "Just so you know, my name is going shopping with blank and some others, and I'm just telling you because she not allowed to go without an adult." Blank was a friend of hers who was a bad influence and had tried to peer pressure me into doing things before, but I had put boundaries up due to a big situation that happened between the three of us the year prior. I was allowed out without an adult, just not on my own because my mum's really protective, but she genuinely tried to snitch on me to my mum. I was annoyed but didn't TXT her or anything. The next day I was extremely nervous for my chemistry exam and I was still annoyed about my friend trying to snitch on me, but I tried to just ignore it and pretend everything was okay. So we get off the bus together and I'm really quiet like I normally am. She lingers behind me as I began to walk faster to the shop and she calls her mum. I go out the shop and start walking to school. I call my mum like I do every morning and my friend can clearly hear I'm nervous. She then starts asking, "What's wrong?" I say, "Nothing, I'm fine," which is something I've always done. I freak out and shut people out, so it was nothing new for me to be silent and say I'm fine. She starts asking me, "Have I done something? What have I done?" And I say, "Nothing, just drop it, I don't have the time to deal with an argument between us." She then walks the other way to school. I get into school and go to put my stuff in the hub for my exam. I get a weird glare of her and her friend. When I come back later to get my stuff, the lady in the hub calls me. She asks me what happened between me and my friend. I tell her exactly what happened because I did nothing wrong. She then says that my friend said that I yelled at her that, "I don't want to be your friend anymore." I told her that didn't happen and I'm stressed with exams, so I think I just need a break. I also told her we have a past and sometimes she's incredibly suffocating, and straight after the lady said, "She is rather overdramatic, isn't she? No wonder you need a break." And I'm like, thank the Lord, someone who gets it. She literally explained everything I felt without even knowing much about our friendship. She literally said, "She seems a bit suffocating." The relief I felt from knowing someone was on my side was amazing. That weekend I went shopping with my friends like planned. We had a great time and I posted a picture of us on Instagram because all my friends who used Instagram did. Besides, I shouldn't be unable to post on Instagram just because my friend is being dramatic. I then got a TXT from her and she said, "I'm guessing by the post on Instagram and the not talking to me that we're not friends anymore." When I didn't respond, she TXT me, "Bye." When I didn't respond to that, she said, "I'm sorry for everything, bye." And when I didn't respond to that, she said, "Goodbye." I didn't respond to any of them, so she TXT my mum again and said, "Tell my name I love her. I think I've lost her for good this time. Tell her I said goodbye, it will come better from you." Dramatic much. This all happened because I didn't want to talk to her because I was nervous for my chemistry exam and ticked off because she tried to snitch on me. Anyway, she wouldn't come into school after that and we still didn't talk. Bonus. Eventually I reached out and asked if she wanted to go out for a bit and stuff. We became friends again. She was still talking to blank in the mornings and had a smoke with her, and she could clearly see I was uncomfortable around the two of them smoking and talking about things that I don't fully understand because I don't drink or smoke or anything like that due to me seeing what it turned my brother into. I tried to just go straight home instead so they could talk because she shouldn't have to make sacrifices for me, but she would insist on going home with me and then played me out to be the bad guy. And if I just stayed whilst they have a smoke, I get uncomfortable, so tend to stay more quiet on the bus ride home, which makes me out to be the bad guy. It's so frustrating because even though I can see she's being a bad friend at times, I can't seem to break our friendship off and keep it that way.